Delhi, India, and I'm in Lodi Gardens, which is a nice garden with some beautiful architecture. So I'm going to explore a little bit. I had planned to go to the spice market. There's a nice rooftop in the spice market, which is great for sunset, and sunset's in about 20 odd minutes. It took me so long to try and get an Uber that I just had to give up in the end, and I decided to come here instead. So at least this is something I can tick off, because this is the first thing I've done so far. I got here this afternoon. I've not really had a lot of time to do much today, but I have figured out that Uber seems to be the cheapest and easiest way to get around, although you do have to take into account the traffic. So I'm here in India for a good few days, pretty much a week, I think. I've got the Golden Triangle tour planned, so we're starting in Delhi, and then I'll go on to Agra in a couple of days' time to see my final of the 7 Wonders of the World, the Taj Mahal. So I'm just going to explore the gardens and try and get some nice pictures. It's like you can actually go into the whole structures here. This actual building is Bada Gumbad, which was a mosque from 1451 to 1526. I think this is also part of the mosque site as well. This smaller one is Shish Gumbad, which is a tomb built during the rule of Lodi Sultan in 1451 to 1526. So inside the smaller tomb, I'm not too sure what these are. Maybe they're places where people are buried. Could make sense. Don't know. And this one, which is a bit further along, is even bigger. It's got a huge wall around it, as you can see. Let's see if we can get closer to the tomb itself. And this one is the tomb of Sikandar Lodi. But we can't actually get through the gate. Apparently they close at 6 o'clock, so I've missed out. But yeah, this garden is really pretty, and it's nice to get away from the traffic of Delhi. Not that I've even seen that much of it yet, but to be honest, what I have seen hasn't been as bad as I was led to believe. It's actually been okay, but I haven't been to Old Delhi yet. I actually got this one to myself, which is nice. So again, there are different things inside here, which again, I'm presuming if this is the tomb, this must be where bodies were buried. So the sun is now set, but it's a really nice park to explore. I didn't spend too long here. It was quite busy, everyone taking photos. Obviously, now is the best kind of time to do so. But I found a nice local guy, and he took some really nice shots in a few different locations there, so really happy with that. You can't always find good people to take photos. So now at a place called Gurudwara Bangla. This is not the place which I thought it was. The thing is, I think it's meant to be by the river somewhere with like beautiful views and beautiful streets. It's just some kind of crazy market. I'm in the wrong place. I'll walk around a little bit just in case I'm wrong and I am in the right place, but I'm not even near the river, so I don't think this is the place that I'm looking for. I'm going to go to an Irish pub, get some food and have a couple of beers before calling it a night, I think. But at least I've got Lodi Gardens out of the way. I'm waiting for my Uber, which is actually going to be a tuk-tuk. Works out a bit cheaper, so at least I get to go in a tuk-tuk and it won't be too expensive. I have seen worse traffic, I've been in worse traffic in other countries, but I understand why people think the traffic's really bad here, and it is quite bad. And that tuk-tuk that I was just in, so many times there were almost collisions with bikes, other tuk-tuks, cars. Somehow I survived unscathed. But yeah, that was it was fun. It was enjoyable. In my hotel room, and I have a tour of Old and New Delhi with a guide in about 5 minutes. Hotel was not brilliant. Just had breakfast. It wasn't a very nice breakfast, to be honest. The Wi-Fi is awful. Very hard getting Wi-Fi in this hotel, so I've had to just go to my data plan and just pay £7 a day. I should really start investing in SIM cards when I go places. So I might actually start doing that in future. But yeah, I'm looking forward to exploring Delhi itself, so I should see quite a bit today. And I think I'll have quite a bit of free time later this afternoon to do my own thing and see some of the things that I want to see. So I'm now at Jama Masjid, which is, I think, the oldest mosque in Old Delhi, which is where I am now. It said there's no tourists allowed inside, but I still went inside anyway because everybody else seems to be in there. Got some photos inside, and it's made out of marble and sandstone. So it also looks like they've had problems with music videos being filmed here in the past. So I'm now in a pedal tuk-tuk exploring Old Delhi. Well, I'm near to the spice market now, which I do want to come back to later for the sunset, as there's a way to get onto the rooftop, which I couldn't do yesterday. It's not as hectic here as I thought it was going to be. It's a little bit hectic, nowhere near as bad as I thought, and I just bought some spices. When I get home, I'll make a nice curry. One thing I would say about this place is that you can smell all the spices, all the various different spices you can imagine. Well, it's hard to know which is which, but I definitely recognise a lot of these scents, but they all seem to be a little bit mixed up. So I'm now at a place called Qutub Minar, which I believe is a tomb for somebody. I'm not getting too much information from my tour guide. He is awful. I'll have to explain more about it later, but I don't think I've ever had a tour guide this bad. Anyway, it looks like an impressive place. The sun's out in full force right now, but it's nice to get some sun. And there seem to be loads of little chipmunks running around all over the place. I didn't even know chipmunks lived in India. The tower itself is 238 feet, according to a sign that I've just read, and it's the tallest stone tower in India. It was also struck by lightning one time, and the guy that started building it didn't finish it in time. His son was the one that finished completing it. Just tried to get someone to take my photo. It's come out awful, but to be honest, I just want to get back to my hotel and then do my own thing. I've never had a tour guide as bad as this ever in 82 countries. I mean, he's just showing me signs to read myself. He speaks English, but he's not telling me anything about any of the places we've visited. I'm at the Humayun's tomb complex. The first one is Isha Khan's tomb. It's quite colourful, got some reds and blues on there. I'm not sure if I'll actually get inside. I don't know a lot about the history of this place. Haven't got a guide now, thank God. I think I'll probably even learn more without a guide, or the guide that I had earlier. So I wasn't impressed. This is kind of run by G Adventures, but not in the typical way they run trips. Because it's a solo one, they've kind of organised tour guides for me, and they're not G Adventure tour guides. At least that's how I understand it. But the tour guide they arranged for me today was awful. He was friendly, but he didn't speak. He didn't tell me anything about the history or the culture of the place that we were in, and I was trying to ask questions. Certain places you can't have tripods, and I had a tiny little tripod in my camera bag and had to hand it in and then claim it back at the end when I came out of one of the sites. But all that sort of information should be told to you by the tour guide beforehand. But at least I'm going to think about it in future, and I know when I go to the Taj Mahal day after tomorrow, they will check the tripods, so I won't have it in my camera bag when I go inside. The little knowledge I do know about this is it was the Mongol Emperor Humayun, and it was built in 1572, and it's made from red sandstone. I've got to say, I'm actually really impressed. I didn't expect this building to be so amazing. I knew it was going to be nice, but yeah, this is beautiful. I don't know if it's going to look as beautiful when it comes out in the video, but just looking at this is just incredible. Looks like you can actually go inside as well, so I'm going to take a look. In the corner here. Impressive site, definitely well worth coming to. I actually preferred Lodi Gardens to this last night, just because you could kind of explore and climb onto things, and it was just about at sunset when I went there yesterday. A little bit off sunset still for here, but yeah, this is probably the second best place I've seen so far in Delhi after Lodi Gardens. So I've just made a stop at the Lotus Temple. Turns out last entry was at 5 o'clock and it's close to 6 o'clock now, but you can sort of see it in the distance. Actually, I don't know if it's picking up on my GoPro too well because of the sun, but it would have been a lovely shot. Could have got a lovely photo. I've got a couple from here, but I can't believe it's closed so early. Really can't. I don't think I'm going to be coming down this way again either, because the whole idea was to get everything out of the way that's in this area, so when I go back to Delhi in a few days time I can do stuff in a different area and I don't have to come out this way. Well, I've found several different gaps in the fence, tried to get some photos, just come all the way around. Turns out you get a great view, although there is a fence in the way. Got a great view of it. Got a great view of it here. Only problem is the sun is behind me. If it had been the other side, it would have been a great shot right now because the sun's getting lower. But here is the Lotus Temple, which is a temple where people come to pray. It's only open once per week, the actual temple itself, but the actual park complex is open every day but closes at 5. These little chipmunk things I keep seeing are apparently known as Indian palm squirrels or 3-striped squirrels. They've got to be some kind of relative of the chipmunk family because they're way more like a chipmunk than a squirrel. Don't try to order a pint in India because you won't get a pint. I said, can I get a pint of this? And they came out with a bottle and it displayed stuff on draft. So I said, no, that's not a pint. Can I have a pint? Can I have like a large? Oh, no, this is a pint. So I said, yeah, okay. So I just accepted the bottle. And it turns out, I looked at the menu and all the bottles, the 330ml, they've got down as pint. It says 330ml equals a pint. That's not right. Surely, surely a pint is still the same everywhere in the world.